Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to JC Sports Replays, where we get our live stream set up here for a game in 1986 between the San Diego Padres, 0-2 so far, and the Los Angeles Dodgers. We're zoomed in a little tight. There's a little bit of room here. Get the score sheet in nicely. All right. We don't need to see all the walls. There we go. There we go. That's a better setup. Okay. How's everybody doing tonight? Let's see if this chat is available. Amazing. Ah, excellent. We will chat with impunity. Very good, very good. Like I say, it is Dodgers and hosting the Padres. It's a night game in Dodger Stadium. We've got average weather, which means 6-6 on the singles, 4-1 on the homers. There's a solid crowd of 31,690 here for the third game of the season between these two teams. The manager of the Padres, Steve Boros, sets his lineup like this. It's Tim Flannery leading off and batting second. Tony Gwynn in right field. Sorry, Flannery's batting first. Tony Gwynn in right field batting second. McReynolds playing center and batting third. Garvey batting cleanup and playing first base. Terry Kennedy, the catcher, will bat fifth. Carmelo Martinez playing left field and batting sixth. Batting seventh, it's the third baseman, Greg Nettles. Shortstop Gary Templeton bats eighth, and the pitcher is Andy Hawkins. Tommy Lasorda sets his 2-0 squad like this, leading off Mariano Duncan at shortstop. The center fielder Ken Lindro bats second. Third baseman is Bill Madlock, and he bats third. Stop. The dogs are growling. Oscar! Stop. Oscar is growling. They're a little rambunctious when we both get home from work. Come here. Come here. Come here.
She's good. She's gonna lie down.
Boy, oh boy. Bill Madlock plays third base and bats third. It's Greg Brock. Greg Brock. I don't know why I want to say Block. Batting cleanup and playing first base. Mike Marshall in right field bats fifth. Franklin Stubbs plays left and bats sixth. The catcher is Mike Sosha. He bats seventh. Second baseman Steve Sachs bats eighth. And Bob Welch is your pitcher tonight for Los Angeles. So let's see if I can adjust this cord. Hey, G-Puck. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And D. Scott Howard. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining. I'm glad you're enjoying. I'm sure enjoying them. Well, here's Welch. We're going to get things started quickly tonight. I might get two in tonight. We'll see. It's early enough. This stream is sponsored, not officially at all. Nobody's giving me any money. They can if they want to, though. By Bigelow Green Tea. It's good when your stomach's not feeling well like mine is. I had a little bit too much fiber yesterday. As they say, shit happens. So here we are in Dodger Stadium. By the way, your umpiring crew tonight, for those of you into such baseball minutia, at third base, John McSherry. Second base, Bill Williams. The first base, long-timer Joe West. And behind the plate, calling the balls and strikes, Frank Pulley. So Welch is on the mound. He'll face the lefty Flannery to lead things off. Let's see how it goes for San Diego, who's trying to get a win. They're 0-2 so far. And consequently, the Dodgers are 2-0. How about a 1-7 against the right-hander? Strikes him out. Welch starts off strong with a strikeout of Flannery, and here's Tony Gwynn. The pitch to Gwynn. How about a 1-6? Single up the middle for Gwynn. A base hit for the many-time batting champion, and Tony's on first. Not much of a hold. I'm sorry, it's a pretty good hold, a -4 for Welch and Sosha. So Gwynn would be a 15. They're going to go, what the heck? Let's try to get him a good lead. 2-5. An 8 is not a good lead. Gwynn's going to stay put, holding him close. So Welch is ready. McReynolds now up at bat. The center fielder waits for the pitch. How about a 6-5 against the right-hander? Normal home run 1-2, double 3-20. This one's hit deep to left field. McReynolds has normal power. It's going back in left center. It's going to one-hop the wall, quickly taken in by Franklin Stubbs, who rifles it back in. Was that a 6-8? Sorry, 6-5. No asterisks on this double, so Gwynn's around third. And let's see if we're going to send him. Stubbs' arm is a +1. Gwynn was being held, so that's a -1. That negates. 1-16. Am I missing any factors? Allow me to think for a moment. Nope. 1-16. Gwynn's going home. They're going to hold McReynolds at second and concede the run. They're not even going to throw. So, McReynolds on with a 1-out RBI double, and the Padres lead 1-0. They need to start strong here. Strong wind blowing out from the vacuum helped the drive. Indeed. You're not wrong, G-Puck. So here's Garvey, the longtime first baseman for the Dodgers, now a Padre. McReynolds on second, 1 out, 1 in. Welch from the stretch. It's a 4-7. Right-handed strikes him out. So Welch comes right back, unperturbed, and strikes out Garvey for the second out of the inning. And here's the catcher, Terry Kennedy. Kennedy bats left. Welch looks in. He likes the sign. And the pitch to Kennedy is a 6-3 against the lefty. Ballpark single. 1-6 from either side of the plate. This one's going to be a liner right at Steve Sachs, who puts it away for a third out of the inning to retire Kennedy. But the Padres get on the board quickly. 1 run. They leave 1. And San Diego leads 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the first. Here's Andy Hawkins, the guy who once pitched a no-hitter and lost. It's not a no-hitter anymore, but at the time they called it a no-hitter. I guess he didn't go 9. Is that right? Yeah, maybe he didn't go 9. Right, because they were, well, whatever. I can't think it through right now, guys. It's been a long day at work. I hope everything's good with you. I slept okay last night after the big game. Had a long day at work today, though. But we're here playing Strat, and everything's pretty good. So here's Duncan, the righty leading off against Hawkins. Andy making his first start of the season. 8-2-5. It's a base on balls to Duncan. And that's trouble because Mariano's got good speed. Hawkins and his catcher Kennedy amount to a 0 hold, so Duncan, of course, is going to try to get a good lead. He needs a 2-7. 8 is not going to be good enough, but he's still a 16-second success. -2 is 14. Duncan's going to try it. So the pitch from Hawkins to Landreau, and Duncan's off to the races, and he's in there. Possible throwing error by Kennedy. 1-4. It is a throwing error. Kennedy overthrows it into center field. So credit Duncan the stolen base, and he advances to third on the E2. So just like that, it's a runner at third with nobody out, and Landreau is up. Landreau not known as a bunter. Looks like they'll concede the run and just try to get it out here. The pitch from Hawkins, it's a 3-6. And that's a single to left. So Landreau goes the other way and knocks in the run. Duncan trots home. So the error and the stolen base, big time here in the first inning. And Landreau's on at first. He's a 15 now. And Lasorda's going to have these boys running today as long as this hole stays at 0. So Landreau needs a 2-7, 11, or 12 to get a good lead. The pitch to Madlock is low, and Landreau has a good lead. He's off. Kennedy with the throw down. That's cocked. We got to re-roll that. 3. It's uh-oh. He's going to have the steal. It might be another error. Nope, this time. Flannery brings it in, but Landreau has this base stolen. So Landreau on second. They'll hold him there because Tommy's got the boys running, like I said. And here's Bill Madlock, the third baseman, bats right. Oh, we got a jumper. How about a 3-4? Grounded out of short. That's Templeton. That's an A. I just got to double check. My brain's failing me tonight. I think the runner will hold, but I'm not 100% sure. Runner at second, A. Yeah. So, Templeton fields it, looks Landreau back to second, and fires to first to retire Madlock for the first out. So Landreau still on second with one down, and here's Greg Brock. Still holding him out there at second. How about a 1-7 against the right-hander? That's hit into right center field, pardon me. Double 1-6, single 7-20. It's a base hit for Brock. Gwynn cuts it off. Landreau's around third. They're waving him in, and he'll be in ahead of the throw. As Brock has an RBI single, and it's 2-1 Los Angeles that quick. So Brock's on first with one out. He's a 13 to steal. He's caught pretty frequently, though. We're going to hold off on that for now. Brock looking for an opportunity to get a good lead, but not just yet. And here's Mike Marshall. Marshall with a 2-3, and uh-oh. That is a ballpark home run chance. Marshall, of course, with normal power, but it's only a 1 chance. Let's see. Deep to left field. Back on the track is Martinez. He makes the catch. And Brock retreats to first. So Marshall gave it a ride, but it stayed inside the park. And now with 2 outs, we're going to see if we can get Brock in scoring position with Franklin Stubbs coming to the plate. So he gets caught on a 6 or an 8-10. He gets a lead on literally everything else. So Brock obviously likes to try to steal bases when he's on first. So 2 outs, Brock on first. The pitch to Stubbs is outside, and Brock. Wow, there's no 7 on there, is there? Brock rolls the only number that doesn't get him a good lead or get him caught. So they hold him close. Kennedy fakes the throw down, and Brock back to first. So 2 outs, Brock on first, being held closely, and here's Stubbs. 1-0 pitch. How about a 5-7 left-hander? Single 1-17, line out to second. This one is hit towards Flannery. He leaps, it's over his head into the outfield. Gwynn backing him up quickly. Brock will stop at second. So it's first and second as the throw comes into third with 2 outs, and here's Mike Scioscia. Not holding anybody now, just trying to get Scioscia out. He'll take a force at any base. Evening, Jimmy Jam. Welcome to the stream. We're 2-1 already. Los Angeles over San Diego in the bottom of the first. 2 outs. Runners on first and second for Mike Scioscia. Scioscia bats left. Here's the pitch. It's a 2-11 against the right-hander. Hit him. He put Scioscia right in the thigh and rubs some dirt on it and trots down to first. He's trying to come inside there, but his control has not been sharp. He's either been right over the plate or a little outside. And that one caught Scioscia. To load the bases now for Steve Sachs. Steve, the right-handed batting second baseman, off to a pretty hot start. Let's see if it continues. Bases loaded, 2 out. Dodgers with a 2-1 lead already here in the bottom of the first. Hawkins with the pitch. That's cocked. Re-roll. How about a 4-8 against the right-hander? Line drive. Might be in the outfield, but no! Nettles with a diving stop. Catches it on the fly to retire Sachs and get Hawkins out of trouble. Nice play by Nettles. The Dodgers leave 3, but they score 2. They send 8 men to the plate, and as we come through the first, it's a 2-1 lead. Now that football's over, we can really focus on baseball. It's just a few days till pitchers and catchers, guys. I'm pretty excited. I have tickets for Yankees opening weekend. Couldn't get, well, I could. They're still available. We may still buy them. I just have to see if I can get the day off. I might go to opening day. Never been to opening day. I've been to Old Timers Day way back when I was a kid. I've been to a few World Series games, plenty of regular season games, but I never caught opening day. In any case, the Padres come up trailing by 1. Bob Welch back on the mound, and he'll face Martinez, Nettles, and Templeton. So Carmelo Martinez, no relation to Tino. I've checked. He's a right-handed batter. It's a 3-6 on Welch. It's a fly ball to right. Mike Marshall has room and makes the catch for the first out. Here's Greg Nettles. winding down his excellent career with the Padres. Nettles bats from the left side, and Welch from the windup. How about a 3-8? Pop this one up on the infield. It should be no problem for Brock. He waves everybody off just behind first base and makes the catch. Two up, two down for the Padres in the second, and here's Templeton. Gary Templeton is most famous for being traded for Ozzie Smith. We all know how that went. Templeton, not a bad player in his own right, but pales in comparison to the career of Smith. The Wizard of Oz was something else, and he's still playing an 86 on another team in this replay. So 2 outs, here's Templeton. Welch with the pitch. It's a 1-6 single to center. Templeton heard us talking about Ozzie and wanted to make sure he showed he still got his chops. So that's a base hit. They will hold him closely. Welch with a throw over. Want to make sure they don't have to deal with anything but Andy Hawkins. Hawkins is a 2 WR as a hitter. And with 2 outs, he'll be swinging away. How about a 3-10? That's on the ground to short. No problem for Duncan, and he flips to Brock to retire the side. So 1 left for San Diego. They still trail by 1 as we head to the bottom of the second. If you're wondering, folks, Welch has a 7 POW fatigue rating, and Hawkins has a 6. Pretty typical. And Welch will lead it off here. He's a 1 NR, so he's got power if he should happen to hit a home run chance on Hawkins' card. The pitch from Hawkins, it's a 5-10 against the right-hander. Ballpark single, going to be 1-6. No good. A liner to shortstop, and having trouble remembering my players tonight. Templeton makes the catch for the first out. Fortunately, I'm aided by that Bigelow green tea. We're now accepting sponsorships for the channel. Mariano Duncan has walked, stolen a base, and scored a run so far today. With 1 out, he will wait for the pitch from Hawkins. How about a 5-8? And that one's hit the other way into the gap. That could be trouble. Going over his Landreau, Marshall is closing on it, and it's going to get in between them. Marshall cuts it off and gets it in quickly. Duncan will be held to a single. If that had gotten past him, Duncan could have run for days. And he may still. Duncan, a double-A stealer with that ridiculous success chance. He'd still be a 15 if he gets a good lead, even though Hawkins holds runners well. Well, actually, it's mostly Socha doing the work. Why does that look wrong? I'm sorry, it's mostly... No, yeah, a 0. So Duncan will be a 19 if he gets the lead here. So the pitch to Landreau is low. Seems to be Hawkins' MO, and Duncan has a lead. He's off to the races. Kennedy with the throw down, not in time, not nearly in time. Looks like Mariano's going to steal at will today, in fact. Another pitch to Landreau, in tight, ball 2, and does Duncan... Stay right there, Die. We got a jumper. Duncan's making everybody jumpy. Didn't go far, though. It's right here at my foot. Well, he needed 1 to get that good lead now, and he does not. So they're paying extra attention to him out there now. He's not going to be able to try to steal third. So 1 out, Duncan on second, 2-0 on Landreau, and here's the pitch from Hawkins. About a 1-7 against the right-hander. Ground ball, second base A. Duncan's going to make it over to third. Flannery will flip to first to retire Ken, and it's 2 down. So Mariano's on third. They are actually going to... No, they're not going to hold him. That's crazy. We'll leave him as a 1-8, I think, to steal home, though. He'd be a 1-7. And Bill Madlock coming up. And only if he got a good lead. He wouldn't even be able to go if he didn't. So the pitch to Madlock, and Duncan is trying to get a lead. Hold on. He does get a lead. Duncan stealing home. And he's just out. Oh, the 8th. He had a 1-7 success chance, even without the hold. And Duncan is thrown out trying to steal home. Hawkins was keeping an eye on him, and Kennedy lays the tag on. That's the 3rd out of the inning. But Bill Madlock will lead things off. in the third when the Dodgers come up again. Exciting baseball here in Dodger Stadium.
Sounds it, Pete.
It just felt like the fun thing to do there. And Duncan actually had a 40% chance of stealing home, which, frankly, guys, it might be a little strat ball. It's probably better than Madlock's chance of driving him in with 2 outs. So Welch comes back out. The Dodgers still nursing a 2-1 lead, and he will face the top of the order, Flannery, Gwynn, and McReynolds. Flannery 0 for 1 with a strikeout. How about a 6-5 against the left-hander, pardon me. Normal home run 1-2, otherwise it's a double. This one is hit. Flannery with weak power. This one's hit out toward the gap and right, and it's going to dunk in for a base hit. Having trouble paying attention to multiple things tonight. I am tired. It's okay. It's just Strat-O-Matic. Nobody's going to hurt you, Bobby. Who the fuck's Bobby? I don't know. Well, Flannery's on first. Welch with a throw over. Flannery back to the bag. And Gwynn waits in the box from the left-hand side. The pitch from Welch, a 4-8. A fly ball to left field. Ranging over his stubs, he has room, and it's a can of corn in his glove for the first out of the inning. Tony was 1 for 1, now he's 1 for 2. That'll bring up McReynolds. McReynolds with an RBI double his first time up. Flannery being held closely at first. How about a 5-8 to the righty? Grounder second base X, our first X chance. Sachs is a 3E17 normally. In this case, he's a 4E17 because he's responsible for the runner. And that's not good. That's a 2-7. That's going to be a single 2. And nothing else. So a base hit for McReynolds, his second of the day. And Flannery scampers over to third with 1 out. They'll hold McReynolds on. It's first and third, 1 out. Looking for a double play as Steve Garvey comes up. Garvey struck out his first time up. Welch looks in for the sign. Socia gives him one he likes. And from the stretch, here's Welch. About a 4-10 right-handed. Ground ball to short. This could be it, but it's an X chance. Duncan a 2E40. Not responsible for the runner, so that'll stand. That's not good either, a 3-10. 3 on a 2 is a single 1. And no error, so it gets through. Duncan knocks it down, but he'll have no play. McReynolds to second. Flannery races home. And that's a tie ball game, folks. An infield hit for Steve Garvey, of all people. And this game's tied at 2 apiece. So now it's first and second. And Terry Kennedy comes to the plate. Reynolds being held? No. Nobody's being held. And Kennedy eyes Welch from the left side. Welch looks in and delivers. About a 2-3 right-hander. Ground ball third base B. That's going to be a short way to retire Garvey at second. McReynolds to third, and Kennedy reaches on the fielder's choice. So 2 outs now, first and third for Carmelo Martinez. Don't call me Tino. We're not related. Martinez flew out to right his first time up. Tino gained a little bit more fame than Carmelo, but Carmelo was a solid player for a while. It's a tie ball game. Runners on first and third. San Diego with a chance to take the lead here on a base hit. Martinez waits. Welch delivers. It's a 2-3. That's a ballpark single chance. 1-6. No, it's in the glove of Duncan at short for the third out. But the Padres tie it up. They leave 2. We're heading for the bottom of the third, and the Dodgers will send up 3-4-5. Madlock, Brock, and Marshall. A lot of power facing Hawkins here in the third inning. Madlock's 0 for 1. He grounded out his first time up. Hawkins with the windup and the pitch. A 1-7. Single 1 to 8 or a line out to third. It's line toward Nettles. He may have a play, and he does. Takes 1 step to his right and brings it in. And a little snow cone in his glove there, and Madlock's retired for the first out. Here's Brock. Greg's 1 for 1 with an RBI single in the first. Hawkins delivers to the left-hander, 6-7. And Brock pulls this one into right field for a base hit, his second hit of the day. It's pretty much an identical hit as his first at bat. They'll hold Greg on, and here's Mike Marshall. Marshall flew out to left his first time up, 0 for 1 in the box score so far. Marshall would go on to open the massive chain of Marshalls, very, very famously. Completely kidding, don't think that happened. But what the hell, it's our replay, and anything could have happened. Runner on first, 1 out. The pitch to Marshall is a 2-10. Just making stuff up now. A liner, but right at Nettles, and he makes the second out of the inning as well. Marshall barely got out of the box there. He hit it hard, but Nettles didn't even have to move that time. So there's 2 down, and Brock's hanging out at first. Here's Franklin Stubbs. Stubbs from the left side. Hawkins with a curveball. It's a 4-5 shortstop X on the ground towards Templeton. A 2E24. Actually, he's going to be 3E24 because the runner was being held. 15-4. Right, 3E24. So 15 on a 3 is a G1. And 4 on a 24 is an E1. So Templeton boots it. He recovers quickly, but everybody's safe. The E6. Where's Templeton? Note my error for later. We also want to note that hit by pitch for later for scorekeeping purposes. Otherwise, I have to search for them after the game to mark them down on the stat sheet, and that's annoying. So, a 2-out error. Stubbs reaches. It's first and second now for Mike Scioscia. And Scioscia, a solid hitter. He was hit his first time up. Completely inadvertently, Hawkins came inside and lost control of a slider. I don't even know if Hawkins had a slider, but what the hell. Once again. Hawkins later went on to found a town that was haunted by things from the upside down. Still is, in fact, a 3-3 against the right-hander. Single, nope, clutch. Scioscia has a negative clutch here with 2 outs and a runner on second. That is going to be a line drive, actually a pop-up to Tim Flannery. He calls everybody off and makes the catch out near second base. That's the 3rd out of the inning. Clutch kills Scioscia, and the Dodgers do not score. So we're tied at 2, and it's time for the 4th inning and another sip of tea. Hope you guys enjoyed the game last night. I had fun watching it. It was a good game. I was happy that we had a competitive game. And I'm not an Usher fan, but that was a great halftime show. They actually did a really good job with the production value. So I did enjoy Little John coming out. That actually got me jumping up and down on the couch, much to my wife's chagrin. She thinks I'm a friggin' idiot. But hey, we had a good time. So it's Nettles, Templeton, and Hawkins to face Welch here in the 4th for the Padres. A tie ball game. Greg Nettles is 0 for 1 so far today, having a 1-8 against the right. He pops this one up on the infield. This time it'll be the Dodgers second baseman Sachs making the out. 1 away. Here's Gary Templeton. Don't call me Ozzy. Is 1 for 1 so far. 6-5. Templeton batting left. He's going to have another base hit. This could be trouble, except he doesn't have any power. So it's home run 1-2, double 3-20, which really means single 1-2, double 3-20. It's going to be a double. So Templeton with his second hit of the day, a single and now a double with 1 out in the 4th. And he's on second with pretty good speed, but not good enough to steal here, I don't think. Nope, he'd be a 6. And the pitcher, Hawkins, comes up. Hawkins is probably going to square up to bunt. The corners are in. We'll get our bunting chart ready. And with the corners in, Hawkins will be a D-bunter. He's going to try to get Templeton in scoring position. Get back in there, 20-sider. Cut it out. It's a 4-6 D-bunter. First baseman's going to field it, and it's going to defend on the defense. I always have to read this one. Has the option of throwing out the lead runner. Running speed -4 plus defensive range. Templeton's pretty damn fast. 1-15, 1-11, plus the first baseman's defensive range. 1-15, nope. They're going to let Templeton get it over. Hawkins lays down a pretty good bunt and gets the sack. It'll be fielded 3-1, Brock to Welch for the second out of the inning. So Templeton's over to third. And here's Flannery. Flannery's 1 for 2 with a run scored and a strikeout. Welch with the delivery from the stretch at 2-11. Grounded down to first. No problem there for Brock. He picks it, flips to Welch covering, and that's the third out of the inning. So the Padres leave one. They can't get Templeton all the way around. And it's still tied as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Here's Hawkins. He'll face Sachs, Welch, and Duncan. Steve Sachs 0 for 1. Hard liner to Craig Nettles his first time up. How about a 5-9 for Sachs? Strikes him out. Is that Andy's first strikeout today? It is. So one down, and here's Bob Welch. Welch popped out to short his first time up. About a 2-9. Grounder down to first. Garvey is there. Flips to Hawkins covering, and there's 2 away. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Mariano Duncan. Duncan's been on base twice. He's stolen 2 bases and was caught stealing home last time up. Mariano likes getting on base because he can usually turn a single into a double. Well, there's 2 outs here, and Hawkins delivers. See if he can get him this time. It's a 1-3. Nope, this time he walks him again. So Landreau coming up, but we know what's going to happen here. Duncan's going to try to get in scoring position. And an 8 means no, but a 16 minus 2 is still a 14. Duncan's going. Kennedy with the throw. Gets him! So Duncan's stolen 2, but now he's been caught twice. And that again ends the inning. The Dodgers might be running themselves out of some opportunities here, but you can't fault them for trying to get in scoring position, folks. Landreau will still be up when we resume in the 5th, but for now, the Padres will come back up to bat, and it'll be Gwynn, McReynolds, and Garvey. Tony's 1 for 2 today and scored a run. Welch starts the 5th from the windup. 4-9 against the left-hander shortstop X. 2E40, there's Duncan again, a very busy day for Mariano. How about a 18-8? What did I say? 240. Should know that by heart by now. G1. And the 40 is nothing. So Duncan makes the play, and Gwynn is retired. First out of the inning here in the 5th. Here's McReynolds. Kevin's 2 for 2, a single, a double, and an RBI. Welch looks in a 6-12. Fly ball left field X. Remember, we don't worry about injuries in our as-played replay. Franklin Stubbs is a 4E11. Stubbs is chasing it. This could drop in a 17. He's going to make that play F2. Let's see if the 4 on the E11 is anything. It's an E1, so Stubbs, it's off his glove, drops in front of him. He picks it up quickly and throws it in, but McReynolds is going to be on with the E7. So Kevin is on base. He'll try to get a lead. What the heck? He's a 15 success rating. No, he'd be 11, actually, with the hold. So they're holding him on. It's not high enough for me to try with 1 out. Here's Garvey. Garvey 1 for 2. He had an RBI single back in the 3rd. Steve waits for the pitch. Welch delivers a 3-5. Fly ball out toward left. Stubbs is there. Shallow left field and makes the play. McReynolds back to first with 2 outs. It'll be Terry Kennedy now. Terry's 0 for 2. Welch from the stretch. It's a 1-5. And he strikes him out. The K for Bob is his 3rd of the day. The Padres leave 1, and we're still tied as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Hey, RJL. Quick hello. Hope you join me for my game tonight. RJL, I'll be on. What time are you streaming this evening? Guys, check out RJL Network if you haven't already. He's a good friend and a supporter of the channel, and I'd appreciate it if you'd go give him a subscribe and check out his content if you haven't done so already. In all likelihood, you knew him long before you knew me, but just in case, check him out. Yeah, what time's that stream tonight, bud? And who's playing? It's going to be Kenny Landreau, Bill Madlock, and Brock for the Dodgers. Hawkins settles in. He pitches to Landreau, and so Ken's 1 for 2 so far. RBI, stolen base, and scored a run. 1-3. Grounded down to first. Garvey is there, flips to the first baseman. He flips to the pitcher Hawkins to retire Landreau for the first out of the inning. Here's Madlock, 0 for 2. All tied at 2 here in the bottom of the 5th. It's a 4-5. Madlock's a right-hander, and he's down on strikes. Hawkins' second strikeout. Dodger team will swing freely. But when they connect, watch out. Well, here's Greg Brock. He's got a couple of pull singles today. 2 sharply hit line drives into right field, like he's reading Hawkins well. 7:30 p.m. The Twins at the Oakland Athletics. Black 11 versus Blue. That's a fun matchup, man. It's a very, very good, great season, actually. One of my favorite seasons to play around with. And Vita Blue is one of my favorite strat pitchers, actually. So, yeah, I'll definitely tune in. You'll be perfectly timed for me to be winding down this evening in about an hour. See if we can get 1 game in and maybe 2 tonight. But I'll jump into your stream for sure before I hit the sack. Once again, guys, go check out RJL for all your Strat-O-Matic needs. So Brock's 2 for 2. It's 2 outs. And here's Hawkins to the lefty. 5-10. Ballpark single, 1-6. No, sir. Line drive to the second baseman Flannery. That's a 4, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Hawkins, who settled down nicely. We've got a developing pitcher's duel, 2-2. Both pitchers looked a little shaky early, but they've settled in nicely. As we head to the 6th, it'll be Martinez, Nettles, and Templeton for the Padres. Well, here's Carmelo. Don't call him Tino. He's not going to say it again. He's 0 for 2 on the day, and he's ready for the pitch from Welch. Bob comes inside. It's a 4-4. Ballpark single again. That one's ripped to left field, and Martinez will have his first base hit today. A leadoff single here in the 6th. Carmelo will be held. Not much of a stealer. An occasional stealer, but you know what? Well, actually, we're going to let Nettles hit first, and then we'll go from there. Not Lasorda. Steve Boros thinking that if Nettles can do something great, if not, he might have Templeton for a hit and run. I don't know what Boros is thinking, but that's what I'm thinking. Nettles is 0 for 2. He's hit it hard twice, but it hasn't gotten out of the infield. Babe's coughing. She's okay. Don't worry. It's that time of year. So Welch from the stretch. Martinez perched at first. Nettles waits from the left side. About a 2-5. Right-handed base on balls. Welch is just low there. He thought he'd get the call, but Frank Pulley doesn't budge. And now it's 1st and 2nd with nobody out. That changes things. It's Gary Templeton coming up. Gary's 2 for 2 today, a single and a double. He's got a good read on Welch, it seems. Welch would like nothing more than a ground ball here. Nobody's being held. Martinez not really a stealing third kind of guy. And Nettles basically wearing an anchor instead of shoes. In fact, if Templeton hits one in the gap, he might pass these guys on his way home. It's a 6-7, Templeton batting left, and that's a liner towards second base. That could be through. Sachs is ranging, and it's past him. Passed him into right field. Wynn charging. He picks it and throws home, and they hold everybody. So single 1 asterisk. Martinez stops at third on the strong throw by Gwynn. And interesting situation here. Welch will have to pitch to his alternate ego, Andy Hawkins, with the bases loaded and nobody out. Well, Hawkins is not going to drop down a bunt with the bases loaded and nobody out. All he needs to do is hit a fly ball or a deep grounder to get a run home and give the Padres the lead. Burroughs thinks about going to his bench, but he thinks Hawkins is pitching pretty well, so he's going to stick with him for now. That could be his famous last words. Here's a 3-4. Will you look at that, folks? I don't know if you can read that. I'll bring it up a little closer. Bob Welch misses outside, and Hawkins lays off. A check swing. He draws a walk. Socha checks with the first base ump, but no, he says he didn't go. An RBI base on balls for pitcher Andy Hawkins. And the Padres lead 3-2. They're doing everything they can to get their first win of the year here. They don't want to be swept by Los Angeles in the opening series. Well, the bullpen's up. Even though Welch is a POW7, this is looking like a potentially very bad inning. 1 run's in, the bases are still loaded, full of brown and yellow. That sounds kind of gross. Let's make that full of Padres. Still gross. Anyway, here's Flannery. The left-hander is 1 for 3 today. He scored a run and struck out. Welch trying to throw strikes. He and Socia conferred. Here's the pitch, a 6-5. That could be trouble. Well, Flannery once again weak against right-handers, but so it's going to be a single 1-2, double 3-20. Hit out toward the gap. Will it get past him? It does. It's deep into the gap. One hops the wall. By the time anybody recovers, it's a 2-base hit, and there's no asterisks, folks. So Nettles plods home. Templeton races around third and scores. Hawkins, yeah, we're not even going to check. Andy holds up at third. He's the pitcher, man. So a 2-run double for Flannery. It's now second and third. There's still nobody out. Welch has now given up 5, and it looks like his control has completely abandoned him. He's either throwing it right down the middle or missing completely, and that's enough for Lasorda. Welch not actually fatigued yet in Strat-O-Matic terms, but he's getting shelled right now, and that's his game. So Bob goes just 5 in his 86 debut. They want to have a good season out of him if they're going to contend. But for now, let's look at his line. 5 innings, 1, 2, a lot of hits, actually. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hits in 5 innings. No homers. We'll have to check the runs because he's still responsible for the runners. 3 strikeouts. How many walks? Why don't I enumerate the walks too? I don't know. Usually there aren't that many of them. No, there's only 1. So 1 walk and 3 Ks. 5 runs so far, and I believe all of them are earned. They are. And we're going to have a relief pitcher. Let's see who Lasorda brings out to face Gwynn, McReynolds, and Garvey. So the Gwynn's the only lefty. And he hits lefties as well as he hits righties, so it doesn't really matter who we bring out. It is, what's the score? It's 5-2. It's a little early for Lasorda to bring in the mop-up guys. So instead, he's going to go with, who's he going to go with? Whoever he's going to go with, probably only going to pitch 1 inning, maybe 2, depending on if the Dodgers get any base runners. So he's going to go with Ed Vandenberg. A lot to consider in National League Baseball. 2 walks for Welch, indeed. 2 walks? Oh, I missed the last one. Thank you. I missed the one that let Hawkins actually get an RBI. So Vandenberg comes on in. Kind of reminds me of Vandalay Industries for some reason. It's a weird place for the space. Vandenberg. Feels like there shouldn't be a space, but whatever. It's his name, not mine. Vandenberg comes in to face Tony Gwynn with runners in scoring position, second and third. It's Hawkins at third, Flannery at second. Still nobody out here in the 6th. We got the assistant statisticians in the chat, thank goodness, because I'm tired. And here's Gwynn, lefty on lefty, Vandenberg. Nope, we got to adjust the hold. Hold on 1 second. Not that anybody's stealing right now, but that's actually going to be the same, I think. 0 minus 2. Yep, minus 4, minus 6. So no change to the hold rating. Here's Gwynn. A 2-9 against the left-hander. Fly ball, left field B, question mark. That'll be deep enough. All right, what's the B question mark deal? I guess they're going to try to nail him. A plus 2. Running speed, outfielder's arm, plus 2. That's only Hawkins, actually. 1-10. So he's going to be a 1-12 plus. Where'd this one go? Left field? Doobie-doobie-doo. 1-13. Hawkins is going to try to score. Stubbs rifles the throw home. And Hawkins is just in under the tag. A good throw by Marshall. Hawkins slid and got there. Flannery makes it to third. That's a sac fly for Gwynn. And it's now 6-2. An RBI for Tony. There's finally an out, the hard way. And that'll bring up McReynolds. McReynolds has reached all 3 times, 2 for 3 officially, a single, a double, and an error. He also has an RBI way back in the first, and Kevin's a dangerous hitter. Flannery's at third. 1 out. How about a 5-8? Luffs this one out to center. It's going to be deep enough. Landreau goes back on it and makes the play. He throws it in, but nowhere near in time to get the speedy Flannery. Make it 7-2, and the Padres with a huge inning here, 5 runs in. That'll close the book on Welch. He's given up 7. And they're all earned, folks, in just 5 innings. Not a great start to 86 for Bob. But Vandenberg's done his job, actually. He's gotten 2 outs, even though 2 runs have scored. And here's Garvey. Garvey 1 for 3 on the day. How about a 6-10? Ballpark single, 1-6 today. No doing. Liner to short. Duncan makes the catch, and Garvey's retired for the 3rd out. But 5 runs come in. And the Padres now lead Los Angeles 7-2 in their hunt for their first win. Hawkins comes back out. This will be his first fatigue inning, POW of 6. He's going to face Marshall, Stubbs, and Scioscia. Here's Mike Marshall, 0 for 2 on the day. 5-7. Fly ball to center himself. McReynolds is there, and Marshall's retired for the first out of the 6th. Lefty Franklin Stubbs coming up. He singled and reached on an error today, 1 for 2 in the box score. How about a 4-9? Left-hander, that could be trouble. He definitely has normal power. Home run 1-9, double otherwise. Hit deep to right center field. Back on the ball goes Landreau. Marshall is converging. They're both running out of room, and this one is gone. Franklin Stubbs with a monster home run. 423 feet away, and that cuts the lead a little. It's now 7-3. Hawkins hung that one. Stubbs didn't miss. Dodgers chipping away. Lasorda clapping. Pat Stubbs on the butt as he goes into the dugout. And here's Scioscia. Mike's 0 for 1 was hit by a pitch way back in the first inning, pardon me. 1 out here. It's 1-7 against the right-hander, and Scioscia lays off. He draws a walk. Uh-oh. Hawkins on the verge of fatigue. And Boros probably going to have a short hook with the lead here. He wants to make sure his team gets his first win if he has any control of it at all. So Scioscia's on first. They're going to hold him. He's not going to try to steal because big lead and all. Big deficit, I should say. They need 4 runs, and a stolen base ain't going to do it. Here's Steve Sachs. Sachs 0 for 2 so far. 4-6. Pops it up on the infield. Flannery calls everybody off and makes the catch to retire Sachs for the 2nd out of the inning. Well, what do you know? Vandenberg's day is over because they actually get a couple of base runners. So I actually have to note him here. Welch is done. Vandenberg. So Vandenberg goes 1 inning and has no line at all. He had 2 fly balls and a ground out. The runs didn't count against him. So he's done. And who's going to be the pinch hitter? For Los Angeles against Hawkins. Let's see who we've got. Looking for a lefty. Still looking for a lefty. I think they're all on the game. That's a problem. Oh, hold on. We've got a lefty. It's going to be Len Matuzik. Matuzik going to come in. He's got power. He could close up this deficit in a hurry with 1 swing of the bat. So 2 outs, a runner on first, and Matuzik waits for the pitch from Hawkins. Andy trying to make it through the 6th. It's a 3-11. Single 1 to 11 or a line out to second. This one is hit hard toward Flannery, and it's his glove. Flannery with a nice catch on the run there to retire the pinch hitter Matuzik. And that's the inning. 1 left, 1 run in. It's 7-3. We head to the 7th. Matuzik will be done. And now the Dodgers are bringing out Another pitcher. Yeah, I think I know who this is going to be already. Let me just take a look. Kind of pre-planned it. It's going to be, who's coming up? Just to be sure. Yeah, okay. We're going there. We're going there. We're going to Dennis Powell. Big 4-run deficit here. Powell will come out and try to get some work in. He's a 3E22 with a 3 fatigue. So Powell might go the rest of the way if Lasorda has his way and things don't get closer. Am I doing the entire 86 season, all the games? RJL, that's the plan, man. I don't know if I'll do them all on stream, but right now we've streamed every single one. This is game 23 of the replay. We're only in the 3rd calendar day of the season, so we're moving along at a nice clip, about 1.5 games a day. So at that rate, it should take us about 8 years to complete this on stream. I'm also doing a Ted Williams replay of 1941, where he bats leadoff every game, and we might mix some other stuff in, but yeah, 86 will be our long-term project for now. Well, here's Kennedy against Powell. Powell from the left. Kennedy waits. Kennedy 0 for 3 so far. How about a 6-10 left-handed? Grounded down to second. It's Sachs, and he throws to Brock 1 away here in the 7th. Here's Martinez. Carmelo 1 for 3. Scored a run his last time up in that big inning. It's a 4-2. Fly ball to left. No problem for Stubbs. He puts it away for the 2nd out. So Powell gets 2 quick outs. Hold on, I need to do this. And here's Nettles. Nettles walked and scored his last time up. 0 for 2 in the box score. How am I handling stats? I'll show you in a second. Let me just resolve this Nettles at bats. It's a 3-3 against the lefty, and that's grounded down to first. Brock is there, flips to Powell. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Dennis Powell. And it's still 7-4. We'll head for the 7th inning stretch and talk to you about stats right after this sip of Bigelow green tea. I did do the Mets-Pirates game on April 8th. I don't, off the top of my head, remember the outcome, RJL, but you can find a playlist on my channel for 1986, and it ought to be in there. So stats, pretty simple process. You may have noticed I'm using the as-played score sheets from Ronbo Baseball Simulation website, supplied by Ron Bernier, for free to our community. It's a great resource. Here's my game log. I simply record each game with the score, the winner, the loser, if there was a save, and who the MVP, in my opinion, was. And my opinion's the only one that matters. That's what we're doing per game. Then we're using Ronbo's very own handwritten 1986 stat keeping sheets, which has all the players who played for each team listed, the batters on the front, the pitchers on the back, and I do it by hand after every game, or sometimes every couple of games if I stream a couple in a row. Like yesterday, I streamed 4 in the morning on Sunday, so I did 4 games of stats back to back. I like to usually just bang them out after each game. I find that doing the stats and keeps me more connected with the replay. One of the things I don't like now that I'm streaming them is that I don't have batting averages and stuff on hand to talk to you guys about. Like at the start of each game, I could say so-and-so is batting .271 with 3 homers and 9 RBIs. I'd have to do a little bit of extra work to make sure I had that info. I don't know if it's worth it. We may do it intermittently throughout the replay. Like I might just calculate them all and do them once a month so I have them handy. And just update major stats as we go. But yeah, I'm doing it all by hand for now. Thanks for asking. That's how I like doing it. I've tried various things. I've tried entering it into the Strat PC game. I've tried using iScore and BallStat and BallScore. And I always find that I'm much more connected when I do it all by hand. So even though it takes more time, it becomes a labor of love. And I enjoy the replays a lot more. So I've done 6 full season replays in my own time. I've never streamed one all the way to conclusion, obviously. But do it the way you want. That's how you do your IP replays. Nice, RJL. You like to do stats by hand as well. Like you said, more connected. Yeah, it's been trial and error. I've been really back into the hobby heavily for about the last 15 years, um, during which time I've completed those 6 replays and a number of other smaller projects, and a lot of starts that never finished. Honestly, no idea how many total games I've rolled, but it's a lot. And up until last year, it was all Strat. I finally started playing some other games last year, but we may do some on the channel as well. I haven't played Inside Pitch yet. I do like Payoff Pitch a little bit, but I find it a little clunky. I probably just need to get to know it better, you know. Well, here we are, folks. It's a 7-3 game, and Andy Hawkins uh, didn't get fatigued in the last inning, so he's going to be sent out by Steve Burrows to pitch the 7th. Labor of love indeed, yeah. Listen, I don't know how much time I have left in this earth, but I want to do things I enjoy. And if I enjoy these games too much to... Got a little fly on the field here. It's like that Yankee Nat game. And an eyelash. There we go. I want to do things I enjoy, so anything that's going to take away from the enjoyment of one of my favorite hobbies, I'm gonna avoid. And doing stats by computer takes, for that matter, playing the games on computer bores the crap out of me. It just does. I can't stay slow enough and connected enough. Maybe if I was broadcasting them, like I've done a couple of action PC games well, I've recorded them. I haven't done them live. And I had a lot of fun with that. But yeah, if I'm not doing the play-by-play, it's just not as fun. Anyway, it's Duncan to lead things off. The man who's stolen 2 bases, been caught stealing twice, been on base all 3 times, 2 walks and a base hit. And he'd like to start things off here in the 7th with a base runner because they have a 4-run deficit to make up. How about a 2-7? Well, he's not going to. It's slide to center. McReynolds has no problem. And Duncan's finally retired for the first time today. First out here in the bottom of the 7th. Here's Landreau. It's 1 for 3 so far. A run and an RBI. 1-5. Single 1 to 3 line out to second. This one's hit hard towards Flannery. No problem. Takes 2 steps to his right and pulls it in. Landreau is the second out. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Madlock. Bill's 0 for 3 today. The Mad Dog waits for the pitch. The 6-3. Fly ball to left. Back on the ball goes Martinez. He's a 4-7. Can he run it down is the question. A 5 on a 4. That's probably not going to be a rundown. That's going to be a single 2 and a 14 on the E7. A base hit for Madlock, his first of the day, and the Dodgers retain hope here in the 7th with a 2-out base hit. They'll hold Madlock on. No free bases. And here's Greg Brock. Brock 2 for 3. How about a 6-6 for the lefty? That's a base hit. Uh-oh. Hawkins has lost it, folks. That's his 4th hit or walk allowed in the last 2 innings. And Andy looks like he's had enough. So Hawkins goes 6 2/3. A nice effort for him thus far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits allowed now. Started to get away from it a little bit at the end there. 1 homer. Walks and strikeouts. We've got 1, 2, 3. 3 bases on balls. And how many Ks he end up with? Just the 2? Yep. 2 strikeouts. And we'll have yet to see about the runs. He's responsible for Madlock and Brock. So Andy's day is over. We'll get him filed away for his next start. And let's see who the next guy up in the bullpen for the Padres is going to be, with 2 outs here in the 7th and Mike Marshall coming up to the plate. No, that's a little too far for him to go. I think we know who it's going to be. Got some good relievers here. We're looking for a good righty. They've got a lot of good lefties. Holy crap. Going to McCullers. Lance McCullers, who is a workhorse for this San Diego bullpen. So Hawkins' day is done. Do we want a double switch here? We could take Martinez out and put in a left fielder. Let's see who's available. Oh, we can get a couple of innings out of McCullers. Yeah, a couple of guys are available. Who's playing center? McReynolds? We might move him over. Un momento, por favor. Yep, McReynolds is going to move to left. It's actually better. He'll be a left field 2E9. Marvell Wynn is going to come in the 9th spot and play center field. He is a 2-2 E7. Let's see. Okay. Which means Martinez's day is over. We're moving cards around here. So Carmelo's done. And McCullers is a 1, so he goes in front of Nettles, and there we go. That stack is ready for the next inning. We have to take Martinez out on the score sheet. That's a B. Got everybody notated, I think. All right, so McCullers is in to face Marshall with Madluck on third, Brock on first. McCullers takes his warm-up tosses as Steve Boros struggles with the score sheet. Marshall is 0 for 3 today. 3 hard-hit balls with no result so far. Dodgers down by 4, and Marshall represents not the tying run. That would be Stubbs on deck. So here's McCullers. He's all set. Oh, let's look at the holds. Hey, he's got the same hold rating. Nothing changes. Beautiful. How about a 2-11? Right-hander ballpark single. Marshall trying to go the other way to right field. Nope. The liner. Well, technically it's going to be, we're going to make it a 4 because that's how I called it. It doesn't really matter. We don't keep defensive stats. Flannery makes the catch to retire Marshall and the side. So the Dodgers leave 2. They had a big chance there to take a chip out of this 4-run lead and couldn't do it. McCullers gets Hawkins out of trouble. That means Andy's day is complete with 3 runs. Are they all earned? Yes, they are. They would have been. Well, wait. E2, that didn't matter. That wouldn't have been an out. Well, yeah, they're all earned. So Hawkins' line is complete. And the Padres will come up in the 8th, trying to add to their 7-3 lead. It'll be Templeton, newcomer Marvell Wynn, and Tim Flannery. So here's Templeton. Templeton, 3 hits on the day, 2 singles and a double. He scored a run. First time he's facing anybody except for Welch, I believe. How about a 110 against the left-hander? Foul ball down the first base line. Brock is over in foul territory and makes the catch to retire Templeton. 1 away. Here's Marvell Wynn making his first at-bat of the season. Bats left against Powell, the lefty. About a 4-6. Strikes him out. First strikeout of the day for Powell. He's doing his job. He's not letting the Padres tack on the lead. He's facing another lefty here in Flannery. Burroughs not substituting with a big beep. That's all, folks. With a big lead. It's a 5-7 fly ball lofted to center. Landreau will be there, and that'll be the 3rd out. So another 1-2-3. Powell very efficient in relief here. And the Dodgers will come up in the 8th against McCullers. They're going to send up Stubbs, Socha, and Sachs. Probably won't see a pinch hitter unless Powell gets due up. Here's Stubbs. He's 2 for 3. He homered his last time up. How about a 6-4? Left-handed. Fly ball center field X. Wynn is playing center. He'll be tested immediately. 2E7. An 11-7. It's probably good. F2 nothing. Wynn makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Stubbs is retired. That brings up Socha. Mike's been hit by a pitch and walked. He's 0 for 1 in the box score. Here's the pitch from McCullers, a 1-10. against the right-hander. Ballpark single chance, 1-6. And it's through. So she goes the other way. Knocks one into left, and he has a base hit, his first of the day. They're not holding Mike on with a 4-run lead, and it's Steve Sachs. Actually, they are going to hold him on because they're looking for 2. Sorry. The pitch to Sachs, McCullers, it's a 3-6. And there's a base hit. Sachs goes the other way into right field. Socia scurries over to third. The throw comes into the cutoff man. And things are getting interesting. Powell's due to hit. Well, he won't. So Powell went 2, had 1 strikeout, and that's his line. And we're going to have a pinch hitter. Who will it be? 2 runners on. Who will the Dodgers send to the plate against McCullers? Not really any lefties left. Nope. Nope. He's the backup catcher, and he had no at-bats. It's going to be Reggie Williams. There's not a lefty left on the bench, folks, for Tommy Lasorda. So he goes to Reggie Williams to pinch hit here with 2 men on, 1 out against the righty McCullers. So first and third, 1 out. McCullers looking for the double play. The infield halfway. About a 5-11 against the right-hander. Never mind, strikes him out. Williams came cold off the bench and didn't know how to deal with McCullers' splitter. 2 down now, and it's Mariano Duncan, who's had a productive day. He's reached base 3 times, a single and 2 walks. He stole a couple, scored a run, and was caught twice, including a steal of home. 2 men on, 2 outs. Duncan waits. McCullers delivers a 1-8. That's a good column, but it's a line drive right at Garvey, and he gloves it for the final out of the inning. The Dodgers leave 2 in the 8th. They've squandered opportunities in the last 2 innings to make this a close ball game, and McCullers is doing his job. Well, Reggie Williams is going to come out of the game for a pitcher. That new pitcher will be I don't even know who to go with, man. Who's coming up? Quinn? Doesn't really matter. It's going to be Tom Niedenfuer. So Niedenfuer is going to come into the game for the Padres. No, for the Dodgers. Pardon me. He'll take his warm-up tosses. He's a relief pitcher with a 3 batting card. That's interesting. Get him in there. He'll bat in the 9th spot if you're keeping score at home. And he will face, in the 9th, Gwynn, McReynolds, and Garvey. So here's Tony, 1 for 3. Run scored and a sac fly RBI today. How about a 5-9 against the left-hander? Uh-oh. That one's grooved, and Gwynn doesn't miss. He hits it deep to right field. It's going back. The only question is it will clear the wall. Marshall going back on it. 1-19. That's a 9. Tony Gwynn with a 391-foot homer. Yes, we've entered the StatCast era early, folks. The exit velocity on that was 109 miles an hour. Tony pokes one over the fence and extends the lead. It's now 8-3. I think that's Tony's first homer this year. I'm not 100% sure, though. Well, here's McReynolds. He's reached base 3 times and has a sac fly. 2 for 3 in the box score with a couple of runs driven in. Nobody out here in the 9th. The Dodgers with the Padres, with a 5-run lead, 2-7, and strikes out McReynolds. First strikeout for Niedenfuer. And that's Garvey. Garvey 1 for 4 with a run driven in today. How about a 5-10 ballpark homer deep to left field? Garvey gets on this one. Going back is the left fielder, Stubbs. Oh, man. It's a ballpark homer, chance 1. That's a 3. That's just a long out. Stubbs makes the catch on the track. And there's 2 away. Here's Terry Kennedy. Kennedy 0 for 4. A hard ballpark to hit balls out of, folks, here in Dodger Stadium. How about a 4-11 for Kennedy? It's a ballpark single chance, 1 to 6. Terry is retired. A line drive to second, taken by Sachs. So the homer extends the lead, and then Niedenfuer gets everybody else. It's 8 to 3 as we go to the bottom. And McCullers is going to come out to try to finish things up. Why not? No save opportunity, so Lance will try to spare the rest of the pen. His third inning of work, actually, he's only gone 1 1/3 so far, actually. It'll be Landreau, Madlock, and Brock, the 2, 3, 4. Those are the guys you want up to start a rally, but 5 runs is a big ask here. Well, heck, the Padres scored 5 back in the 6th, so 6-3 to Landreau, the left-hander. Fly ball left field X. As the Dodgers are running out of chances. Left fielder is now McReynolds. He's a 2E9. 19-7. F3 nothing. McReynolds makes the catch, 1 away here in the 9th for Los Angeles. Here's Madlock. The Mad Dog is 1 for 4. Singled his last time up. 1-9 against the righty. Strikes him out. McCullers with his second strikeout. And the Dodgers are down to their final out. It'll be Greg Brock coming up. Brock's had a productive day at the plate. 3 base hits and an RBI, but looks like it's going to be in a losing effort unless something miraculous happens here for Tommy Lasorda's kids. Brock waits from the left side. McCullers likes the sign. Here's the pitch. It's a 5-6, and he misses. A little low there, and Brock is on for the 4th time today. They're not going to hold him. If he wants to steal second, he can go right ahead. Mike Marshall, now up at the plate. Marshall, 0 for 4. 4 hard hit balls and nothing to show for it. Ain't that a bitch? Well, McCullers ready, both righties. Marshall waits. How about a 1-4 against the right-hander? Fouls this one behind the plate. He didn't hit that one hard. He got jammed, and Kennedy's backing up. He has room, and he makes the catch for the final out of the 9th. The Dodgers leave 1. They squandered some opportunities, and it got away from them, folks. Your final score from Dodger Stadium. The San Diego Padres 8. The Los Angeles Dodgers 3. The Padres get their first win. It's going to go to Andy Hawkins. McCullers gets a save. No, he doesn't. He didn't go 3. Never mind. He came into the game. It was 5, 6, 7. It was 7 to 3. No save opportunity. So he goes 2 1/3. Let's see his line. 1, 2. 2 hits, no homers, no runs. 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. Which means Los Angeles managed 10 hits, but only 3 runs. And Niedenfuer's line, one inning, a homer and a K. 1 hit, 1 homer, 1 run earned, no walks, 1 strikeout, which means 11 hits for San Diego. Let's check the errors. That's E7, which would be Stubbs. Didn't note that one earlier. So 1 error for the Dodger, the Stubbs error. We had an E2. Noted that somewhere. No, we didn't. Throwing error on Kennedy early. E6, that's one we noted on Templeton. So 2 errors. And that's the line. So 8, 11, and 2 for San Diego, 3, 10, and 1 for Los Angeles. And we've got a ball game, folks. Who's our MVP? Let's take a look. A lot of contributors today. Everybody did a little bit of everything for the Padres. It's a tough one. Gwynn's RBIs weren't really important. Hawkins had that RBI walk. Guys who got a lot of hits didn't get a lot of runs driven in. It's a weird one. And Flannery's double was pretty big, folks. I think we're going to give it to Tim Flannery. It's either Flannery or Gwynn or McReynolds, really. Yeah, we're going to give to Flannery. That's my fan favorite. Flannery gets the MVP. Well, looks like our time is coming to an end tonight, folks. Thanks for joining me. It's about 10 after 7. RJL is going to be on at 7:30, so make sure you go check him out. Joel, RJL, everybody else who joined me tonight, I got to scroll up, see who else was here in chat. Jimmy Jam, G Puck, Kevin Hayes. Hey, Kevin, I didn't see you pop in before. D. Scott Howard, and everybody else who happened by and didn't chat or I didn't catch your chat. Thanks very much for joining me tonight. My name is Joe. This is JC Sports Replays playing Strat-O-Matic Baseball in 1986. We'll be on with the final game. Yep, one more game on the schedule for this day. Tomorrow night, it'll be the San Francisco Giants at the Houston Astros. In real life, San Fran won 4-1. We'll see Scott Gereltz for the Giants take on Mike Scott, making his first start for the Houston Astros. And Scott's card in Strat this year is something to see, folks. Don't miss that one. He can do some things. That's one of the better Strat cards you'll ever see. Nearly unhittable. So, all right. Thanks for joining me, guys. Go hang out with RJL. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm going to drink tea, hang out with my wife, and maybe read a little. Okay.